Hey guys, Kevin Runlet here with Runlet Law Firm. We're continuing our series on 18-wheeler accidents, big rig accidents, trucking accidents that happen in the United States and in Mississippi specifically every single day. So let's talk a little bit today about why are trucking accidents different from a general car wreck, fender benders, accidents between two other cars. When a commercial vehicle is involved, oftentimes it's just physics. We're looking at a very large commercial vehicle colliding with usually a smaller personal vehicle, and that's where the injuries happen. It's just physics. Big heavy truck, small car causes big problems. Another thing is that these truckers, while they have great mirrors and ways of trying to see what's going on with traffic, they just can't see as well as if they were in a car with windows on all sides and in the back and a rear view mirror. They can't see out of that rear view mirror, so it just makes things more difficult, makes it more prone to be in an accident. Generally, these cases will have more insurance coverage available than just a general car wreck. Not always, but you don't generally run into the problem of having a true uninsured driver at fault when it involves a trucking company. They know the risks and they have insurance to cover this to keep their businesses in business. There's also something that you need to consider. It's called the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Regulations. This is a body of federal law that covers common carriers, 18-wheeler companies, trucking companies, all those big guys who are transporting stuff that we appreciate across the country, but there are federal regulations that must be followed and also understood by an attorney representing someone who's been injured in these accidents. We understand those regulations. We know where to look. We know what to bring up to the insurance company if we're negotiating the claim. It all comes from that body of law. So be aware of that. In these trucking cases, the police report is never enough. When you have an officer who's not trained in all the nuances of these things, the report's just not going to cover things that they need to cover. They're not going to look at certain items that they need to look at. What do we have as far as evidence goes that's different in a big rig or 18-wheeler accident as compared to just a normal car wreck case? Well, we've got everybody's heard of a black box, a recording device. These trucks, the overwhelming majority of them now, and federal regulations also come into play with this, require them to have something that's recording what's going on with that truck. What is the maintenance of that truck been? Have they checked the brakes properly? Are they set properly? Are they carrying too much of a load? It covers lots of different issues. Were there issues with the braking system that the driver didn't get taken care of to protect all those that are around him on the road? Also, something that we need to really look at, and some of these overlap with a regular car case, but certainly in an 18-wheeler case, we're going to look at the driving record of that driver and see if he's had a history of these things. What's been going on? What type of medical records does that driver have that would indicate maybe he's been prescribed a sleep aid, or maybe they've been prescribed some kind of prescription med that we need to look and see if they were taking at the time of the accident. So it may be that we have to get into that driver's medical records to find those things out. Drug testing, did they do any drug testing? There are requirements if there's an accident that they have to do this, and we need access to that. Are they taking these sleep aids to sleep and wake up aids or stimulants to get them going? Are those two things competing with their ability to focus? They also have maximum drive times per day. They've got to have, 18-wheeler drivers have got to have a certain amount of rest. And if they don't get that, and if they're not logging that properly, they're in violation of federal regs. And we need to know that. It's very important. There's also dash cameras in a lot of trucks nowadays. We recently had a case where a common carrier struck a pedestrian. and we were able to look at a dash cam to see what that driver was doing. We were also able to look at the camera that they have forward facing to see what happened with the collision. So very important stuff that we need to look into. The problem is these insurance companies, they know you're going to want to see that, and if it's a problem for them, I'm not saying they'll all do this, but sometimes things come up missing. So make sure you get a qualified attorney if you're in an accident with an 18-wheeler, big truck, any kind of common carrier, to make sure this evidence gets preserved. So that's a little bit about how these cases are different from car wrecks, some similarities. If you like these videos and you want to hear more, just subscribe, like us, give me any comments that you have, any questions that you have, and I'm happy to answer those on a subsequent video. Hope you all have a great day. Thank you for watching.